Well, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Gnostic Five Senses Knowledge, Kings and Queens Entertainment Education. Let's go into service at Love and Faith Christian Center with Bishop Michael Thomas. Yes,
consumed with the fierce anger and wrath against Christ. And the words breathing out really means breathing in. In other words, he was taken into his heart the evil of destroying all of the followers of Christ and his disciples. He was on a mission to destroy all of those who called on the name of the Lord. Then we discovered that he was given over to a fierce objective, and that was to destroy all of the followers of the way. We just read that. I told you last week that the beginning of the church, people were not considered as Christians. Those who followed Jesus Christ, they were known as followers of the way. It was not until Antioch that they said these believers, these people that are of the way, they act and look like Jesus. And so they start calling them Christians because they took on the personality, they took on the life of Christ. And now it's unfortunate. There are a lot of people who call themselves Christians that live an opposite life of what God intended.
Amen for that. Amen. They fake.
You still clubbing. Oh, whoa. I felt that. You still acting like a heathen. It would have been something. It would have been something crazy if after Saul had surrendered his life to Christ, he was started back persecuting the church. You know what we have said? And we have been absolutely right. Something ain't nothing happened to him. He's doing the same thing he did before he got saved. And if you're doing the same thing before you got saved, I question your salvation. Oh, I can't get no amens today. See, the teachings of the Lord was not pictured as a religion or a set of rules or regulation, but it was a way of life. Christ, living a Christian, is a way of life. It's the way we live life. With all the problems and trials and tribulation, we still live this life. It is a condition of life. It's the course of life. We learned this last week. It's the kind of life. It's a means of life. It's experience. I'm enjoying my life as a Christian, as a believer. I told you last week, I've simplified. Telling you, crazy. You're going to decide you're going to do life your way. You've been doing it your way. And they say insanity if you keep doing the same thing you've done and looking for a different result. If you're enjoying your journey, then keep doing it. But if you're not, that means you're doing something crazy. See, I can be on my journey doing the will of God, still having trials and tribulation and setbacks and all that, and still be enjoying my journey. You know, I said it earlier because I understand this. I understand that my way is not going to be easy. The way of the Lord is not smooth in the sense that I have trials. I have to deal with things. That's part of life. Jesus said it rains on the just as well as the unjust. And so don't determine your life because you're going through stuff. We all going through something. But look at you, I got peace. In the midst of my problems and trial, I got the peace of God that surpasseth all understanding. I got joy unspeakable. I should be depressed, but I'm not, because I got the joy of the Lord is my strength. I'm enjoying my journey with all my problems and trials and tribulations. So notice. He said, I'm Jesus whom you are persecuting. It's hard for you to kick against the goals of the Brits. So he trembled and astonished and said, Lord, what do you want me to do? Hey, he says, wait, hold it. Oh God, you're alive. I was fighting against these people. I thought they were fanatics because they said Jesus is alive. I'm in there fighting it, and now I find out you're alive. He's trembling. He's utterly shocked. He's astonished. He was devastated, hardly able to bear up under the weight of the sin for which he was now being charged. He says, those people that you're persecuting me. And he knew beyond question that he was the most terrible sinner. And the only hope was him to turn and obey the Lord Jesus Christ. And praise God, this he did. Notice he did what every man must do to be forgiven. He called upon and acknowledged the Lord. He says, who art thou, Lord? He said, I'm Jesus whom thou persecutest. So he trembling and astonished and said, Lord, what do you want me to do? Now, don't get to that question. Because some of you, he's already told you what we want you to do. And you decide, I'm going to do what I want to do. And you can do it. Hey, listen, you can go through life doing it. You know, I'm telling you, I'm enjoying life because I'm in the will of God. Slap dab in the middle. That's a country term. Slap dab in the middle. Some of you spit it. I'm right in the middle of the will of God. Now, because some people think that I'm in the will of God, that I'm not going to have no resistance. Resistance is necessary for growth. I've learned more about God because of my resistance. And now, don't fool me. Anybody who's been walking with God, you've had some setbacks, some problems, some trials. We all have. And something must be wrong. Because whenever God called you to do, everything's going to be easy. That's a lie from the pit. There's nothing God ever called me to do that was easy. Nothing. Everything I had to do was prayer and fasting and asking and seeking God. But he called upon, he acknowledged the Lord. Now notice, he surrendered to obey God. He obeyed to obey Jesus. He asked the question, Lord, what will you have me to do? And some of you don't need to ask that question because he's not told you 100 times. Lord, what do you want me to do? I want you to walk in forgiveness. Now, see, some of that stuff is too. Pastor, I want to go with you to Africa. No, you can't go with me to Africa. Because you want to walk right across the hallway and tell your husband, your wife, your children, your uncle, your cousin that you're sorry. Oh, I got a message. You ain't got a message until you live the message. What will you have me to do? Now notice, he don't tell him specifically. We'll talk about this next week. He says, arise, go into the city, and you will be told what you must do. He says, arise, I want you to get up, get off the ground. See, some of y'all want to stay there with the experience. Oh, Lord, he touched me. Oh, now, I'm not saying he didn't touch you. The joy that floods my soul. Something happened, and now I know he touched me and made me. And now listen, I'm not saying he didn't. I'm saying it's time for you to get up. You've been down there for the last 10 years. Lord, the Lord touched me, and the Lord, wait, hold it. You need to rise. Get up. Go on to Damascus. I want you to go on because I got something I want you to do. Oh, I wish I had 2 or 3 folk. You see, some of you sitting there, you still been sitting there. You know, the Lord touched me. He touched me. He touched me. Okay, what? But he touched me, and he gonna do it one day. Wait, God's waiting on you. Tells him, now notice he don't tell him specifically what to do yet. Now I got to close with this, but notice, I'm jumping ahead, but you'll get there next week because God is a master orchestrator. He tells him, arise, go on to Damascus, and then he tells him where to go. I want you to go to this house, and then he goes to this house, and God is dealing with a guy by the name of Ananias. See, God is a master orchestrator. And he's telling Ananias, now there's a guy named Saul who I want you to go to this house. It's on the street called Straight. And he tells him exactly. And he said, Lord, wait. Ooh. Jesus. That's the guy that's persecuting the church. You know, there's some funny things in the Bible. He said, Lord, are you sure? Anybody ask God, are you sure? You sure you want me to go talk to Uncle Bud? You know, there's some people who say, Mike, I want you to go witness to it. Are you sure, Lord? I know you're the Spirit of truth, but are you sure? And it's amazing that God had already been preparing the heart. And so he tells him, listen, I want you to go. Notice what he tells Saul, arise and go to the city, and you will be told what you must do. And the men who journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no one. Then Saul arose from the ground, and his eyes were open. He saw no one. Now notice, he has an encounter with God, but he's blind. And sometimes having an encounter with God, you become blind. And God's going to open up his eyes. And see, that's the miracle. But I wanted to get there before. I want you to know that he had a life-changing experience. See, some of you want God to open up your eyes, but you have not had a life-changing experience. Because you're trying to walk with God by your grandma. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for grandma's good. No. You need an encounter with God. I'm not saying grandma wasn't saved, but you ain't saved. I must personally ask Jesus Christ to come into my life. And so he sends him, he tells him, arise and go. And so they're the witnesses to the event. But no, they were not privileged to know what really was happening. Notice God is working around in Paul, and those around him have no idea what's going on. Anybody besides me, God has worked in your life. See, his eyes have been closed during this whole traumatic experience. He's now become a docile lamb. He was a raging maniac. Now he's a lamb. His eyes were now blinded for 3 days, and he was helpless. For 3 days, he couldn't see. And notice, for 3 days, he decided to fast. See, some of y'all waiting on the church. Now, we are going to fast this week, but there's sometimes the Lord ought to tell you to fast. I ain't gonna fast because the Lord, I'm waiting for the church. No, you need to. He didn't say, I'm waiting for the church to go on fast. He decided, I want to go on fast. And he fasted. He didn't eat or drink anything for 3 days. But the point I want you to know, that God was behind the scene. And I want you to understand this. Your life, God is behind the scene, working things out in your life. He's not going to explain. There are some horrible things that have happened. I was listening to Sister Regina on Friday night when she was there, and she was talking about the how Teamwork Ministries, how the Teamwork Bible School started, and was talking about Dr. Cha-Cha. And I thought, oh, wow, man. I'm sitting there. God is so awesome. Now, God made sure later years that I would meet this dear man of God. I didn't, it's amazing. God's behind the scenes working stuff out. And you don't know what he's working out. There are some of you have some tragedies in your life, but God is going to take the tragedies and cause them to be a triumph in your life. Now, don't fool me now. The Bible says in Romans 8:28, and we know that all things are worked together for the good to them that love the Lord and of the call according to his purpose. This is a tragic event in Saul's life, but God is going to cause it. There are some things that have happened in my life, and looking in retrospect, I would have said, God, what's wrong with you? Because I couldn't see the future. But how many know God still holds the future? I look back now, I think, oh God, I'm so glad I didn't act as stupid. I did act stupid, but not as stupid that I could have acted. When I look back, because God was really trying to get something to me, or trying to work something out in my life. And all I'm saying is that we'll get this next week, that a life-changing experience, because he's going to walk in obedience. And listen, let me tell you, if you're going to experience the blessings of God, you got to walk in obedience. And my time is up.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning? I hope everybody is doing well. Welcome to another edition of Gnostic 5 Senses Knowledge, Kings and Queens, Entertainment, Education. Let's see what's going on with tarot.
He got punished. The Four of Wands. So, this Four of Wands energy, it's too late. Okay, it's coming out too late in the reading. Alright? I'm really getting like somebody screwed up. It's... somebody... I don't know if somebody copied somebody's birth certificate or somebody's identity and got married. They tried to declare in court they were married with somebody, but a lot of times the Four of Wands is a separation as well. But I'm getting like somebody got married in order to keep house. Somebody copied somebody's identity in order to try to get away. Somebody's finding out some wicked, stupid information. The King of Swords. Now this is getting to the point where there's Emperor energy as well. The King of Swords is always manipulated, controlled by an Emperor. The King of Swords is always the kind of person that knows the truth, right? Sits and wait. There's that Ace of Swords. Okay, somebody's spiraling out of control. This is the card that I was saying, that this was all premeditated. It was pre-planned. Step-by-step procedures to attack the King of Swords. Four of Swords. Somebody is kind of sick and ill. Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands a lot of times is communications, keeping yourself busy. It's also backed up in a corner because somebody's being attacked. Shots fired. And that's why there's no wands in this corner. It's like all these wands is pushing this energy in the corner. Somebody's pinned. Somebody can't move. This is why somebody's in the Four of Swords energy. Oh, my deck is in reverse. I need to. Sorry. Shuffling the deck in reverse. Something is being done in the reverse. This person did too much juggling. The girl with the purse and the curse. King of Cups energy. Now, this is manipulation of a heart. It is the kind of energy, it's like, it's my cup. I don't want to share it. I'm stirring the water, creating drama, right? So everybody can believe that somebody's a liar when all this time, this person is a liar, right? There is something that I just can't figure out. It's this Ten of Cups and the Four of Wands. It's strongly giving me like there's something that was done to get married. And it's giving me like the collective does not know that they're married to this person. Okay? Page of Swords, watching and stalking, studying their law book. Somebody is switching up papers. I'm really getting like somebody doesn't know, but they're married. And this is, we're living in the Matrix. It's the land of confusion. When you find people who are corrupt, switch papers around, anything is possible. And I'm kind of getting like somebody is using somebody else's social security number, birth certificate. Somebody mixed up something with the law and it's being uncovered. Nine of Cups, this is a gold digger. Right? It's a gold digger. For a Ten of Pentacles, could even be better, bigger than that. Sometimes when you get married, then you have life insurance. Those cards haven't come out yet, but the Ten of Pentacles is. That would be a life insurance. Right? Because if somebody passes away, you get an Ace of Pentacles. This is a scam. All of this is a scam. It began with a house. Right? It began with some kind of court order. Something was transferred from a bank account to another. Somebody is juggling. Something is backwards. Do you see her skirt, her robe? Do you see the split? Normally you wear this. That's your back end. That's your ass. This person is doing a 360. A 360, a lot of times, is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, it's like trying to control somebody's destiny swap. This person is juggling. They're unbalanced, unstable. So this person is not thinking right. The Wheel of Fortune does turn 360. A lot of times we talk about the Wheel of Fortune, it's 180, but that's a half circle. This person did a full circle, meaning the cycle's repeating. They're getting found out, right? With Pluto, who's in retrograde. Oh yes. Ten of Wands. So they made somebody leave with nothing, which is the person that I get was half on this house. This person doesn't know they're married to the karmic. right? Three of Cups. This was done by three people. The Three of Cups, a lot of times, it is like cheating energy. It was planned. It was planned. This was all pre-planned. Somebody is really fucked up. Somebody's family's fucked up. There's a King of Pentacles who was giving the advice, like, this is giving me a pyramid scheme, right? There's alcohol, drugs involved. Two of Wands. Somebody's trying to figure a way out. They figured out a loop. Now they're trapped in the loop. There is a globe. The globe is round. It is 360. The globe a lot of times represents the world or the Wheel of Fortune. It broke the deck with the Sun card, right? And this is like the Cup of Love, and it's also God's hand. This person was not listening to God. They went out with the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is already out. This is listening to what other people say, validation of others, and it's also going out, right? Wanting the attention of others, wanting the public and friends to believe in this person. And this person is crazy. The Ace of Swords is out, spiraling out of control. This person is crazy in the head. Somebody is sick. And there's that Eight of Swords. What's in the back? Eight of Swords. This is like somebody broke the law. So the justice is out. Hermit. Hierophant, which can be the judge. Somebody lied in court. So somebody's facing jail time. Possibly they refuse to look at themselves. But there's another card in the back, and it's yellow. Probably the Page of Swords, yeah. This person is like... Okay, so like that's Nine of Swords together. It flipped together, okay? So this is being haunted at night. Okay? A lot of times the Nine of Swords is a person that can't sleep at night. They're haunted, they're crying. Right? And this is what they're doing at night. They're watching somebody. The person that originally was half owner of the house. Right? Who's probably married and they don't know they're married or something. So, there is something about abusing somebody's birth certificate or social security number. Alright? It's copying somebody's life. Alright? And they're trapped.
It's something about some money moves that somebody is making. Or somebody tried to steal or something like that. That could be a sidebar. Somebody could also, if you are in a space of being abundant, maybe I just heard like your finances could be evolving and you could be like balancing out your finances, or maybe you never had an issue with your finances. You could be a very like, abundant individual, very resourceful individual or something like that. Somebody could, maybe they lost access to you and your resources. Maybe somebody was stealing money, laundering money or something like that from you or something like that. That's for somebody here. Somebody also could feel like maybe because you're in some space of ascension, maybe when it comes to your finances, like this could also be another reason why somebody is so hell-bent on like conquering you with this Knight of Swords here. Somebody is hell-bent on conquering you and getting you to come back. Because they want access to your money, access to your resources or something like that. Somebody here, give me more on this. That's the Ace of Swords. Heavy emphasis, not the Ace of Swords, I'm sorry, the Knight of Swords is here. Heavy emphasis on a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Capricorn could also be significant. It's something about like you done took off, collective. Hey. It's something like you done took off. Like you done got the fuck on. In a way that I don't think somebody thought that like you got clarity on a situation. You know what I'm saying? And you are moving full speed ahead in the direction that you know you need to go in. And you're standing on it. Like you're standing on what you believe is right for yourself. It's something about another person, because this what I said, the Ace of Swords, but I don't have that out here as of yet. But that's giving me, if I look at the Ace of Swords and this Knight of Swords, that's giving me two swords. It's something about somebody could have been trying to stall you out, or somebody could be trying to stall you out, or something like that, to block you from going towards some money or something like that. That's for somebody here. That's for somebody here. Again, like I said, it's something about somebody wanting you to be stuck in some sort of emotionally unstable, delusional, confused ass cycle where your intuition is blocked, to where it blocks you ultimately from a whole new beginning for yourself or something like that. That's for somebody here.
They found out who you are, and now they're scared and researching what happens when you attack someone that is divinely protected. Now, someone effed around and found out. They didn't know that all this karma and consequences would be included for going at you. And keep in mind, you were truly minding your business. You were literally in the corner, just smiling, looking off into the distance. And the more peaceful you were, the more that person was just staring at you, just getting mad, scrunching their fist like, I hate that person. And they chose to attack you. And now things is happening in that person's life. And you probably already said you're divinely protected out loud. They didn't take it serious. They probably took it as a challenge. Or even if you didn't say it, it's obvious you have a light. And some people make it a challenge to try to snuff out that light. But now that that bad stuff is happening in that person's life, they realize that you are who you say you are. And now they're researching like what happens when they attack someone that is divinely protected. And they don't like the results that they're seeing. It's scaring them. They're trying to get back into your good graces. They're trying to wave the white flag like they surrender. But surrender what? You didn't start anything with that person. And now they have to deal with their own consequences of what they brought on to themselves.
Some people will trade diamonds for dust and still wonder why their hands are empty. It's a wild truth, but here's a fact. Studies show that human beings are wired to regret missed opportunities more than their actual mistakes. Funny, isn't it? Yet it makes perfect sense. When someone betrays a rare gem of a person for something cheap and nasty, regret doesn't just knock on their door. It moves in, unpacks its bags, and throws a house party. And here's the twist. You were the blessing they didn't value. They misjudged your worth, gambled on temporary thrills, and lost out on a masterpiece while clinging to a mess. But life? Oh, it's got a wicked sense of humor. Now they're left haunted by the memory of what they did, and who they did it to. Buckle up. This isn't just a story of betrayal. It's a reckoning at number one. They mistook your kindness for weakness. They got it all wrong. They saw your kindness and thought it meant weakness. When you showed patience, they assumed it was because you didn't know better. When you forgave, they mistook it for desperation. But what they never understood is that your kindness was a choice, not a flaw. It was rooted in strength, the kind that only comes from surviving battles they can't even comprehend. The truth is, being soft in a world that celebrates hardness takes courage. It's easier to build walls, to be cold, to meet every insult with fire, but you chose differently. You chose to stay human. And they didn't know what to do with that. So instead, they played games, thinking you'd always be there, thinking you'd tolerate disrespect because that's just who you are. But that's where they messed up. See, kindness has boundaries too. And when they crossed those lines, they didn't just lose your loyalty. They lost access to the rare peace that only people like you can bring. They never realized how much you carried for them, how much your presence made their lives better without them even noticing. Until you were gone. Now they see it. The conversations that used to calm their storms are gone. The understanding they took for granted has vanished. They're left trying to fill a void they didn't even know existed until you walked away. And here's the irony. They're learning the hard way that finding someone with your heart isn't just rare, it's damn near impossible. And that's the price of mistaking kindness for weakness. They gambled, thinking you'd stay no matter what, but they didn't just lose the game, they lost the prize. You, number two, they wanted you to dim so they could shine. They couldn't stand your light. It wasn't that you were doing anything wrong, you were just being yourself, shining without even trying. And that made them uncomfortable. Every room you walked into, you brought a certain energy that couldn't be ignored. People noticed you, respected you, even admired you. And instead of seeing that as a reason to stand beside you and rise, they saw it as a threat. So they did what insecure people always do. They tried to dim your light, subtle digs, backhanded compliments, and those little attempts to make you question yourself. All because your shine reminded them of everything they weren't ready to face about themselves. They wanted you smaller, quieter, easier to control, anything that wouldn't challenge their fragile sense of self. But here's the thing, real light can't be dimmed, not by gossip, not by jealousy, and definitely not by people who are too insecure to embrace their own potential. You kept glowing, and that only made them more bitter. Eventually, they betrayed you, thinking they could rise without you. They believed cutting you out would elevate them, but it didn't. Instead, it exposed just how small they were without your presence. You kept glowing, and that only made them more bitter. Eventually, they betrayed you, thinking they could rise without you. They believed cutting you out would elevate them, but it didn't. Instead, it exposed just how small they were without your presence. Now, they're stuck in the same darkness they tried to push you into. They're realizing that your light didn't just make you better, it made everything around you better, including them. But they chose the path of insecurity, and that choice cost them more than they ever imagined.
But I feel like, this person had some demons that needed to be exercised here, okay? If you know what I mean. Like they fed right into their ego. It says the energy you put out is screaming, don't talk to me here, okay? Now they're mad and pouting, okay? Now they could have cut it. For some of you guys, they're no longer talking to this family. They don't care. They done dropped the ball. They done fumbled everything here, okay? Child. All right. Excuse me. Let's get a couple more. Now the same people are condemning them and telling them how it is, okay? And this person is asking for help, and they're like, I'll call you back. Well, let me see. I got to wait and see. Payday, because I got this and I got that. Oh, just be patient. I'm going to help you. Like, child, please. This person is on fire. This person is on fire. And people are making excuses as to why they can't help them put out the water. Okay? So, I don't got no hose. The complex turned the water off for 2 hours. Like, seriously, this person is on fire. Somebody needs help. They're in troubled water. Somebody is drowning. They are sinking. Okay? And these people trust the process. Oh my God. What is really going on? Damn. Yeah. Like they're waiting on a handout. They're waiting on a handout. Okay? They're waiting on the same people that set them on fire to put out the water. Damn. Wow. That's crazy. They're watching this person chase their own tail. They're watching them. Okay? If you have to pull 5 cars to justify it, it's enough. Child. This person wants someone to pinch them. They feel like they're dreaming, okay? They're looking for some type of relief, relief, same thing, okay? They want a positive affirmation or positive confirmation that, this is just a phase. Something's going to change for them. Something's going to flip, and they're not getting that, okay? I keep hearing 3 the hard way. Like, child, this person is in it for a minute, okay? It could be Baptist or Methodist. So somebody's in it for a minute. Okay, somebody might have to call on God. Like, they can't call on you. Cannot call on the same person who set you on fire. Like, what? How is that going to work? How is that going to work? So let's see what else they want to say about this situation here, because these people are a trip. And I do feel like, you know, there was one specific person in this family unit that had it out for them. They're sitting back watching this person burn, baby, burn. Okay? Like, they screaming, the roof is on fire. He or she don't need no water. Let that mother... I'm telling you. I don't know if they ruffled somebody's feathers indirectly, okay? Or maybe there could have been some jealousy that was stemming from childhood. But somebody knew damn well this person was making, okay, mantra could be significant. This person was making a huge mistake. When they abandoned you, or when they lied on you, when they betrayed you, they knew that they weren't going to be able to cross a certain threshold again. That the door was going to close behind. Somebody knew that you were somebody's saving grace. That's what I'm getting. They could have been jealous of you. Somebody could have been jealous that this person had somebody like you. But damn, they had an ancestor that came through. They really did. And tried to warn them that this was a setup. And it didn't have to be somebody specifically that had it out for them. You have to understand, you know, when people are not conscious, they do things unconsciously, which means they don't even know why they do things, okay? Like, all of these people were basically being guided by a darker force here, okay? Damn. Child, these people, they got all type of excuses. Oh, my hoes don't reach that far. What? It's like somebody borrowing your car, okay, in a time of need. You get the car back. Let's say they borrowed your car to go cross country here, okay? You get the car back, and it's like, it breaks down as soon as you take it to the store or something. And it's because somebody done ran your shit down. And, you know, you call them and they're like, that's not my problem. I didn't do nothing to you. It's like, bitch, you put 1,000 miles on my car. What are you talking about? Like, that's the energy, okay? Endless. Wow. Engages in a task that never ends and freedom slips away. Break the cycle and seek variety in your task here, okay? This person is stuck in some type of cycle, honey, where it's like they're never done, okay? Oh, at some point in time, whoever this is, they were there for all of these people again, but it's ego, okay? It's ego. Like, these family members used to call on this person for favors a lot. And, you know, they would show up because it's their family. But again, there's something about their ego. They like to be the person that fixed that. Or they wanted to be the person that people could depend on. But it's just ego-based though, you know? As opposed to just a genuine care. Like, okay, now I don't want you to have to walk to work. You know, I got you. Somebody here was like, something about their name. They wanted people to talk about them, like putting them on a pedestal. That's what I'm getting, okay? Like, they did a lot for these people is what I'm getting. They did a lot for them. Damn. Destiny encounter. Paths cross unexpectedly and life shifts subtly. Reflect on the sign and step toward what feels meant to be, okay? Wow. They let you walk right out the door, okay? But I feel like some of you guys were like the caged bird that singed anyway. Okay, it was time for you to fly away. All right. You were rescuing this person. You were gonna take them away, take them out of a cycle. Maybe you did. Okay. Yeah, look at this. Crack. Break to build. Adapt to the split and gain anti-fragile strength. That's what you did. Turn the deepest fracture into an entrance and permit slow mending here. Okay. So you healed from this situation. I'm also getting, they saw this person healing. They saw, like, for example, a fracture mending. And they was like, oh no, we gonna hit them right there. Crack. Okay. And somebody, they're thinking about this. Look, conflict in the reverse. People don't want to be fooled with this person here. Okay. Because once they get into their environment, whoever sacrificed you, basically whoever sacrificed themselves, they keep bringing that shit up. Like, if this person was propositioned in regards to money matters, whoever propositioned them, they was like, man, if something happened, you can always stay with me, cuz. You know what I'm saying? That shit is off. That bed is off, okay? People's doors are closed. Truth or illusion. Also, there's some people here where they're not jumping to help this person. These could be other family members that weren't involved, because this person is lying. They're lying about what happened. They're lying about the part that they played in their own sabotaging behavior is what I'm hearing. Okay. But when they call on these people and they get stonewalled is what I'm hearing, they're questioning. Did this motherfucker just straight up lie to me? That they was at work, and I know damn well they ain't at work, okay? Because I drove past there earlier. They told so-and-so they didn't even work. They was off of work for the last 2 days. Like, this is what they're going through in their head when they're waiting for these same people that set them on fire to put the fire out, okay? Conflict is in the reverse. And this is telling me people don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be bothered. Because I feel like whoever this is, for some of you guys, it's an ex. They keep confronting, like they'll start off okay because somebody's mentally unstable, because they got tricked out of their spot, all right? And they don't want to take accountability. You know, let's say somebody's tired. It could be something going on with cars, because I keep bringing up that scenario. Let's say somebody's tire goes flat, okay? And, you know, a cousin or a brother or a sister or a friend comes to them to help them, you know, put the tire back on or bring them a new one or whatever. And, you know, the conversation will start off cool. But eventually, it switches. Because this person is pissed. They're pissed about their situation, okay? And there's something about them wanting to call on the people because they feel like these people owe them. Because now they're recognizing the setup. They specifically want to call on the people who they felt like set them up. So, conflict in the reverse, people ain't picking up the phone because they know this person really wants to chew them out. Like, this is crazy. Okay? What is going on? Wow. Conflict in the reverse. Child, they can see this person as erratic, is what I'm hearing. Child. Well, I don't know. Well, let's see what else Spirit wants to say about this situation. And somebody's screaming, stop blaming me. It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. Did I do that? Some of y'all may not know what that's about. Anyway, let's see. Child. Let's see. Flip. Somebody had a chance. They had an opportunity to uphold their autonomy here, okay? And they did not stand their ground. Again, but it was that ego. These people were feeding their ego. I'm getting a whole lot of, oh, cuz, you know, you gotta be there. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you were married to someone, okay? And, you know, in certain situations and events that they really shouldn't be a part of, okay? But they were convinced to be a part of it anyway, you know? And, this person's ego was getting fed because these people were putting them on a pedestal as if they were the life of the party, okay? And I could be talking about a masculine or a feminine energy. I can't make it up. We got choice. Choice. Making future plans with your partner. Taking the first steps in your professional journey. Dreaming big. Planning for your long-term financial security here. Somebody showed compassion to somebody that never deserved it. Maybe to a snake, okay? And I'm getting, you know, if this is an intimate relationship for some of you guys, like an ex, something started off small. Somebody could even call your person and ask them, look, my friend is blank, blank, blank. Do you think you can go over there and help her? I'm getting some bullshit like that. Somebody family is full of snakes. And this person, again, their ego, somebody wants to be known. I'm seeing somebody with a cape on, flying around town. They want to be known as Mr. Fix-It. Okay? Like that's who you call to get the job done. Like that's the energy. Because if this person's antennas was up, it's like, I'm just a friend, I'm your cousin. That's your friend. There should be a long list of people that they could depend on or that you would call before me. Okay? But again, you could have been dealing with someone where maybe they already had some issues.
America is under judgment. White America's time is up. And the evidence is so overwhelming that disbelief is turning into desperate acknowledgement. I'm going to show you something that will change everything you thought you knew. The Bible predicted exactly when this would happen, exactly how it would happen, and exactly who it would happen to. Pattern so undeniable that even those who built this system cannot explain it away anymore. You see, there's a prophecy that started in 1619, a 400-year clock, and that clock just ran out. And what the Bible says happens after 400 years is happening right now in real time. Floods, earthquakes, economic collapse, political chaos, prophets seeing visions of the Capitol building split in half, the Washington Monument crumbling to pieces. This is not coincidence. This is not random disaster. This is pattern. This is judgment. And even white evangelical leaders who spent their entire careers defending America are now standing up and saying, God has lifted his hand off this nation. It feels like it's falling apart right now. You're not crazy, you're not paranoid, you're watching biblical prophecy fulfilled in front of your eyes. This is not conspiracy theory. This is not hate speech. This is documented scripture, verified historical timelines, and prophecies being fulfilled that scholars cannot explain away. I'm going to walk you through 4 major revelations that will connect every dot you've been trying to connect your whole life. First, the 400-year prophecy. Genesis chapter 15 verses 13 and 14 tell us that God's people would be strangers in a land not theirs, enslaved and oppressed for exactly 400 years. And then God would judge that nation, 1,619 to 2019. Not 399 years, not 401 years. Exactly 400. And everything that has happened since 2019, the global pandemic, the economic crisis, the political division, the racial reckoning, the natural disasters, it all started the moment that 400-year timer expired. I'll show you the mathematics of this prophecy and why even secular historians are stunned by the precision. Second, Mystery Babylon's identity. Revelation chapter 18 describes a nation that will fall suddenly. A nation so wealthy that merchants of the earth grew rich from her. A nation that sits as queen and says she will never see morning. A nation whose merchants were the great ones of the earth. And a nation that traded in the bodies and souls of men. Every single characteristic, and I mean every single one, matches America so perfectly that white theologians are now publishing papers admitting it. I'll walk you through each description and show you why there is no other nation in human history that fits like America fits. Third, the pattern of judgment. Throughout Scripture, when God judges a nation, he follows a specific pattern. Natural disasters escalate, economic structures collapse, political chaos intensifies. The oppressors turn on each other, and right now America is checking every single box. I'll show you how current events match exactly, and I mean exactly, how God judged Egypt, Babylon, Sodom, and Israel itself. This is not random. This is the documented pattern of divine judgment. Fourth, the truth they will not name. The Bible tells us who the Israelites are by describing what would happen to them. Deuteronomy chapter 28 lists specific curses: slavery, ships, scattered among nations, oppressed for generations, head becoming tail. Only one people group in modern history matches every single curse. And if you acknowledge who they are, then you have to acknowledge that America equals Egypt, and you have to acknowledge what God promised to do to Egypt. This is why the establishment stays silent. Because once this truth breaks open, the entire power structure crumbles. By the end of this video, you will see the pattern so clearly you'll wonder how you ever missed it.
Don't let the Lord catch you with your work undone. You have been warned several times, okay?